The girl used her hair, which she had kept for over 20 years, to knit a scarf at the edge of a cliff. But the scarf was too heavy and kept falling down. No matter how hard she tried to stop it, the scarf dragged her down, and she fell. In this critical moment, the girl suddenly saw a pair of scissors ahead. Using her knitting needle as support, she began to crawl forward. Just as she was about to grab the scissors, the knitting needle broke. What could the girl do to save herself now? That day, the girl was knitting a scarf at the cliff's edge. The more she knitted, the more addicted she became. She didn't even notice the scarf had already fallen over the cliff. Danger was quietly approaching. Every time the girl felt the scarf pulling her down, she would only try to pull it back up with all her strength. Eventually, the heavy scarf dragged her off the bench, but she still didn't stop. Instead, she walked closer to the cliff's edge. At this point, the girl realized the scarf was already about 10 meters long. She quickened her knitting speed, but the next second, the scarf pulled her straight off the cliff. Fortunately, she managed to hook her foot onto the edge of the cliff, temporarily saving her life. But she didn't care about the danger and continued to knit. She even created a miracle. Using her foot, she successfully crawled back to safety. At this point, the girl's knitting skills were at their peak. While she was concentrating on knitting, the yarn ran out. All her resources were exhausted. Suddenly, she saw her own hair. A brilliant idea struck her. She began to use her long hair, grown for over 20 years, to knit the scarf. What a bold move. In the end, the scarf still pulled her down the cliff. However, luck smiled upon her once more. She struggled and crawled back to the ground. It turned out that she had bitten off her own hair with her teeth. The scarf she had put so much effort into knitting was finally lost.